Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second shelf and to the sixth and final video about the Women's Prize for Fiction 2021 shortlist. I will first review the last book that I haven't reviewed yet. There's this one, How the One-Armed Sister Sweeps Her House by Cherie Jones, and then I will wrap up these reviews with the ranking. But I will leave links to all the previous 5 reviews in the description, and also links to the Women's Prize for Fiction website and all the 6 books. And the prize winner will be announced next week on July 7th. So I am very curious what will happen. But anyway, first review of How the One-Armed Sister Sweeps Her House by Cherie Jones. Jones is author from Barbados, and this is her debut novel. So that is quite something, an achievement already to make it to the shortlist of a major prize. And the book centers around the lives of 2 women. We have Lala, who is in an abusive relationship with her husband, Aiden, and she is just, when the book opens, she's pregnant, about to give birth. And you have Mira, who lives the good life, quote unquote, because she's married to a very rich English man. They lived in London. He divorced his first wife for her. And he has 2 children, but after various circumstances, they moved to Barbados, to the house that he bought a couple of years ago. The lives of these 2 women will be connected and entangled through the plot, and it's really well crafted, I would say. But we also get the background of each woman, the history, mother, what happened to the mother, for instance, in short chapters in between, and there are the abusive men around those 2 women. Mostly abusive. I mean, not all of them are abusive. For instance, the husband of Mira is not an abusive man, and there's also a friend of Lala's who is not abusive. So I don't want to give the impression like all men are bad in this book. No, they're not. What I really loved about the book, I thought it was a good book. Certainly for a debut novel. The writing was very engaging. It was extremely well paced. The story moved forward with all these different plots and lines of inquiry, so to speak, and it came to a good conclusion without being too neat, wrapping up everything very neatly. The atmosphere was very strong. I felt that maybe it was a bit too relentlessly violent in the book, because you could hardly catch a breath in between, and maybe it would have been better if there had been some ups and downs on that particular issue. And also I found that the amount of information you get about the various characters, men and women, the background, might be a little too much and not necessary. Not all of it I felt was necessary, and in my mind I really had to keep all those characters straight, and their background and where they came from and why they acted the way they did. So that was, I would say, a typical debut flaw, that the author wanted to put too much into the book, and the editor didn't pay enough attention to tell her the book would be better if you lean it, if you make it leaner a little bit. But that's nitpicking. It's still a very good book about a certain environment, a certain segment of society, and especially with the focus on women. How I I'm always interested in the lives of women if they're portrayed realistically. So I thought it was an extremely strong debut. And in my opinion, certainly also deserved a place on the shortlist of the Women's Prize, especially if I look at some of the other books. So this one certainly one of the best of the three, of the six, I'm sorry. So I would say if I look at the 6 books, 3 of them I thought were really good. This is one of them. The other one that I thought was good is Claire Fuller, Unsettled Ground, about a sister and a brother, 51 years old, who lose their mother, set in the remote countryside, you know, different also from the setting and the main protagonist. And the other book, no surprise, of course, that I thought was really good was Susanna Clarke's Piranesi, set in this strange world that looks like an old Greek palace or labyrinth, and the main character struggles to find his way in and out of this world, I would say. So those are the best 3. If I had to make a choice of those 3, which one to win, I would go for this one. Because it's a debut, because it gives a different voice and a different perspective, because it tackles important issues, and it's really well written and the plot is well done. I feel that this one is also very good, but if I compare it to One-Armed Sister, it's not a debut. It's a bit uneven because the second part I felt was too short. It was too wrapped up too quickly. This one, even though I really liked it and I think it's a good book, there were some issues with the plot that I felt it was just could have been done a little better. Certainly, if you look at Claire Fuller, she's a very experienced writer. So I'm less forgiving, which is unfair, I know, but I'm just less forgiving. So if I had to make a choice out of those 3, I would go for Cherie Jones's debut. The other 3 I thought were not good. This is No One Is Talking About This by Patricia Lockwood, The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett, and Transcendent Kingdom by Yaa Gyasi. So the first 3 are taken already, and I would put this in number 4 because at least it's different. It's about Twitter. I'm not interested, but that's me. But it gives something. It's experimental. It gives something different. It looks at a different issue that hasn't been written about that often. So I would say this is a number 4, even though I thought the second half was cheesy. This overall message, family is more important than social media, was like, yeah, right. Trite, as one of my viewers called it. And then from the 2 remaining, I would say that this one is then a little better than Transcendent Kingdom. It's a story about 2 sisters, and it tackles the theme of passing, but it doesn't really do a very good job, in my opinion. It's full of coincidences, really, really full of coincidences plot-wise, and that just makes me, really irks me, if an author needs coincidences in order to make the plot work. That's lazy. But it's only her second book, so again, I'm maybe a bit more forgiving than with other books, but I just didn't think it was very good. And this one, didn't work for me either, and I would put it number 6 because it had great promise, and the author is capable and just didn't pull it off here. And that's a disappointment. I don't like it when you have big themes just thrown at you without any rhyme or reason and without any development. That's a form of laziness that I just don't appreciate. So there you go. This is my ranking I'm sure that the poor debut novel that I would put first will not win because I jinx everybody. But then again, for a debut, it's already fantastic that the book makes the shortlist. And we will see on the 7th which book will win. It's probably either Vanishing Half or Transcendent Kingdom, because I put those books last. So there you go. I don't gel with the opinion of judges ever. Anyway, so is the last of my Women's Prize for Fiction videos for this year. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you read all 6 books, give me your ranking. I'm really interested. Or if you read only 3, give me the ranking of those. And I'll see you all soon in the next one.